Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Good morning. Golden morning. Every day Baba teaches us new things, and along with that Baba also gives us the remembrance of the previous cycle. Baba is the ocean of knowledge, and Baba explains the depths of knowledge, and very hilariously Baba explains this knowledge is very deep and very entertaining. Baba gives us the jewels of knowledge and teaches us the pilgrimage of remembrance. Baba makes us pure and Baba fills our apron. Today Baba is saying, I have come to take you back to heaven. But according to effort you make, you will have the entry of the golden age. And when you will come, at what time you will come to the golden age, it all depends on how you make effort. Baba says, I give you the passport to go to heaven. But only 2 people doesn't get the entry to the golden age. Which are those 2? Brahma doesn't give you the entry pass. Both are powerful personalities, but they both don't enter the golden age. Baba says Ravan doesn't come to heaven, and even I don't come to heaven. I don't have any entry to go to heaven. I, being unlimited, I am limited. This is a limit, and I take you to the land of happiness, but I stay in the supreme abode. And therefore it is a limit, and I make you unlimited. And that day Baba said, I feel wonder for myself. I am the ocean of knowledge, the seed of the human world tree. I am the one who gives you the knowledge of the beginning, middle and the end. And I will tell you the secrets of the whole world cycle. Baba says, I make you the masters of heaven, the land of happiness, but I myself do not enter golden age. I don't have the law to come to the golden age. I am the master. Om Shanti. 11 October 2024. Baba says, sweet children, as well as having remembrance of the Father, become full of the wealth of this knowledge.
बुद्धि में सारा ज्ञान घूमता रहे,
Only when this entire knowledge continues to turn around in your intellects will you experience unlimited happiness.
सृष्टि चक्र के ज्ञान से
It is by having this knowledge of the world cycle that you become the rulers of the globe.
प्रश्न है,
Question:
किन मनुष्यों की अथवा बच्चों की प्रीति बाप से नहीं हो सकती?
which children or human beings are not able to have love for the Father?
बुद्धि नहीं बन सकती।
Which children are not able to have love for the Father?
उत्तर है, जो रौरव नरक में रहने वाले
Answer:
विकारों से प्रीत करते हैं,
those who live in the very depths of hell and have love for the vices.
तो विकारों रौरव नरक में रहने वाले
Those who live in the very depths of hell and have love for the vices,
प्रीत बाप से नहीं है।
such human beings are not able to have love for the Father.
बाप को पहचान नहीं सकते। तुम बच्चों ने बाप को पहचाना है,
You children have recognized the Father.
तुम्हारे बाप से प्रीत है।
That is why you have love for the Father.
सेकंड क्वेश्चन
Second question:
है, किसे सतयुग में आने का हुक्म नहीं?
who does not have the right to enter the golden age?
में आने का हुक्म किनको नहीं?
Who does not have the right to enter the golden age?
उत्तर है,
Answer:
बाप को भी सतयुग में नहीं आना है,
the Father does not enter the golden age.
दूसरा काल को भी सतयुग में नहीं आना,
And death does not enter there either.
तीसरा जैसे रावण को सतयुग में आने का हुक्म नहीं है,
Just as the Ravan does not have the right to enter the golden age, so Baba says, children, I too do not have the right to enter the golden age.
बाबा तो तुम्हें सुखधाम का लायक बनाकर घर चले जाते,
The Father makes you worthy of going to the land of happiness,
लिमिट मिली,
and He returns home. He too has the limits. Om Shanti.
रूहानी बाप बैठ रूहानी बच्चों को समझाते हैं,
The spiritual Father sits here and explains to you spiritual children.
शादी की यात्रा में बैठे हुए हो,
Are you spiritual children sitting here on the pilgrimage of remembrance?
हमें ये ज्ञान है ना कि हम आत्माएं याद की यात्रा पर हैं,
Your souls know internally that you are on the pilgrimage of remembrance.
चल रहे हैं और चलते हुए बैठे हुए,
We are remembering the Father whilst walking, and we remember the Father while sitting.
यात्रा अक्षर तो जरूर दिल में आना चाहिए,
The word pilgrimage should definitely enter your hearts. Just as those pilgrims
हरिद्वार अमरनाथ जाना
think of going to Haridwar or Amarnath,
फिर लौटा,
and that when they finish their pilgrimage, they will return home. They have the pilgrimage on the path of devotion, and there is the difference between the pilgrimage on the path of devotion and the pilgrimage we have here.
आपने हाथ पकड़ा है,
So it is in the intellects of your children here that you are going to the land of peace.
तो कहते भी हैं हाथ पकड़,
The Father has come and is holding your hands.
क्योंकि विषय सागर में पड़े हुए हैं,
He holds your hands to take you across. Hold my hand, is said, because you are lying in the ocean of poison.
कहना चाहिए कि हम
Now remember Shiv Baba in the home. You should remember internally that you are returning home. You do not have to say anything through your lips. You are going now, and therefore you have to remember. Secondly, The Father has come to hold your hand and will take you back. Simply remember that Baba has come to take you home.
तो याद की यात्रा पर जरूर रहें।
You definitely do have to stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance. It is by having this pilgrimage of remembrance that your sins are cut away. Two things have to be remembered. Baba has come to take us back home. Baba clearly explains,
जैसे छोटे बच्चों को पढ़ाया जाता
just as one would teach small children,
सदैव बुद्धि में हो कि हम शिव बाबा को याद करते
let it constantly remain in your intellects while you continue to remember Baba that you are going back. The Father's task is to purify you and to take you back to the pure world. He takes you children there.
आत्मा ही यात्रा आत्मा को ही यात्रा करते
It is souls that have to stay on the pilgrimage.
हम आत्माओं को बाप को याद करके घर जाना है।
We souls have to remember the Father and return home. The Father has come to take you back home, holding your hand. We have to hold the hand of the Father, the Srimad.
फिर बाप का काम पूरा हुआ ले जाने के लिए आया।
The Father comes to make you pure from impure and to take you home.
बाप आते हैं पतित से पावन बनाकर कर
The Father comes to make you pure from impure and take you home. It is here that you study.
कोई भी काम काज
By all means, go and tour around. But whatever you do, let your intellects have remembrance.
योग अक्षर में यात्रा हो तो सबसे यात्रा सिद्ध नहीं।
The word yoga does not necessarily mean a pilgrimage. We are on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Sannyasis use the word yoga.
वो तो सब मनुष्यों की मत है।
All of those are directions are of human beings.
मनुष्य मत है।
For half a cycle, you follow divine dictates, and then
मत पर चली
for the other half of the cycle,
दैवी मत पर चली।
you followed human dictates.
पहले दैवी मत फिर मनुष्य मत और अभी है
You followed divine dictates, then you followed human dictates. You have now received God's directions.
योग अक्षर नहीं कहो
Do not use the word yoga.
की यात्रा कहो।
Call it the pilgrimage of remembrance.
ये यात्रा करनी
It is souls that have to go on this pilgrimage.
शरीर के बगैर वो होती है जिस्मानी यात्रा।
Those are physical pilgrimages that you go on with your bodies. Baba is explaining the contrast of the pilgrimage.
का काम ही नहीं है।
You don't need to use your bodies here.
हम आत्माओं का वो स्वीट घर है।
You souls know that that is the sweet home of us souls.
शिक्षा दे रहे हैं
The Father is giving you teachings
जिससे हम पावन बने।
through which you will become pure.
याद करते करते तमो प्रधान से सतो प्रधान बने।
You have to become Sato Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan by having remembrance. This is a pilgrimage.
हम बाप की याद में बैठते हैं।
We are sitting in remembrance of the Father because we have to go home to Baba.
यहाँ पावन बनाने
The Father comes to purify you
पावन दुनिया में ही जाना है।
because you have to go to the pure world.
पावन बनाते हैं
The Father makes you pure
फिर नंबरवार
and then number wise,
चारत अनुसार
according to the effort you make, you go to the pure world.
ये ज्ञान बुद्धि में रहना चाहिए।
Let this knowledge stay in your intellects.
को ले जाए
Baba will take back everyone home, but everyone will come to the golden age number wise as you make effort. We are on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Now, what is the other contrast? What is the contrast between the pilgrimage on the path of devotion and here? We do not want to return to this land of death. We have the pilgrimage of remembrance and return back home. We don't return to this land of death. It is Baba's task to take us home. Baba shows you the path. You are now in the land of death. You will then be in the new world, the land of immortality. The souls are having the pilgrimage of remembrance. The Father holds our hand. The Father makes you worthy to go to heaven. He has the limit of only enabling you to reach your home. Let all of this knowledge stay in your intellects. You should not only remember the Father, what all you should have in your intellects. You also need to have this knowledge. It is by having knowledge that you earn an income. By having this knowledge of the world cycle, you become the rulers of the globe. You have the knowledge in your intellects that you have been around the cycle, that you will return home, and that the cycle will start again from the beginning. Only when you keep this entire knowledge in your intellects can your mercury of happiness rise. You have to remember three things. Firstly, you have to remember Baba. And secondly, you also have to remember the land of peace. And thirdly, you have to remember the land of happiness. And the basis is Baba and knowledge. How can you become the rulers of the globe if you do not remember the cycle of 84 births? Only one thing is not to be remembered. It is the task of sannyasis to remember only one. Sannyasis consider the happiness to be the droppings of the crow. It is the task of sannyasis to remember only one. But because they don't know that one, they only remember the element of light. They only remember the Brahma element. We are the residents of the Supreme Abode. We remember the Father who takes us to the Supreme Abode. The Father explains to you children very clearly, by continuing to have remembrance, your sins will be cut away. First, you have to return home. This is your spiritual pilgrimage. There is a contrast between the spiritual pilgrimage and the pilgrimage that takes place on the path of devotion. There is a song, we went around searching for you in all four directions, but still remained distant all the time. That means we remained distant from the Father. You did not know the Father who gives you the unlimited inheritance.
उनको तो जानते ही नहीं।
You don't know about the Father who gives you the unlimited inheritance. How many times have you been around?
पैसे बहुत होते हैं।
People go on many pilgrimages every year on the path of devotion.
तुम्हारी तो रूहानी यात्रा है, ऐसे का खर्च।
When people have a lot of money, they have an interest in going on pilgrimages.
हमारे लिए नई दुनिया बन,
This is your spiritual pilgrimage.
नई दुनिया में
When the new world has been created for you, you will go there.
कहा जाता है अमर लोक।
The new world is also called the land of immortality.
अमर लोक में काल जा नहीं सकता।
There is no death to come.
न काल आता है न काल अकाल मृत्यु।
There is no death to come and take anyone. Ravan doesn't enter there.
मौत भी नहीं आती।
There will be no untimely death. The Father doesn't enter there, and Ravan doesn't enter there as well.
ले जावे।
Death does not have the right to enter the new world.
रावण की तो ये पुरानी दुनिया है।
This is the old world of Ravan.
ये भी यहाँ
It is here that you invite me.
दुनिया में मुझे बुलाते पुरानी।
You invite me in the Ravan's world.
बाप कहते हैं मैं पुरानी दुनिया में और डबल पुराना हो जाता है।
This world becomes double old.
और दूसरी बात पुरानी
The Father says, I come into this old world and enter this old body.
मुझे भी नई दुनिया में आने का हुक्म नहीं।
I too do not have the right to enter the new world.
बनाने आता हूँ।
I only come to purify the impure.
क्या सिखाता हूँ?
Baba says, what do I teach you?
तुम पावन बनो, फिर औरों को भी पावन बनो।
You become pure and then make others pure.
सन्यासी तो भाग जाते हैं।
Sannyasis run away. They completely disappear.
पता कि कहाँ चले।
You don't even know where they have gone.
कभी कभी बाबा कहते कर्जा बहुत हो।
You don't even know where they have gone because they even change their costume.
चोर भी सन्यासी बन के कपड़े बदल के सन्यासी।
Sannyasis become robbers, they change their costume and they go to each and every home and ask for food.
क्योंकि वो ड्रेस ही बदल लेते हैं, जैसे एक्टर्स रूप बदलते हैं ना,
Similarly,
मेल कभी फीमेल बन जाते हैं। ये भी रूप बदल,
actors change their appearance.
थोड़ी ऐसी बातें हो।
Sometimes a male actor plays the role of a female and sometimes a female plays the role of a male.
सच्चाई है, पवित्रता है,
There is a truth, there is purity here.
बेहद के वैरागी त्यागी सब के अधिकारी।
And those who are true sannyasis, they have the rights to go to heaven.
नई दुनिया बनानी।
The Father comes to create the new world.
कहते हैं तुम भी आते हो नई दुनिया बनाने।
Baba says, you children also come to create the new world. You children rule for half a cycle. Then according to the drama plan, the copper age begins and the deities fall onto the path of sin once again. There are many dirty images of them in Jagannath Puri.
पर बाहर दीवारों पर भिखारी पोज की चित्र,
Outside in the temple, they have
गंदे जैसे कि
dirty posts, dirty postures.
गंदे चित्र भी हैं।
There is the temple to Jagannath.
यूं तो उनकी राजधानी थी,
He in fact had a kingdom and was the master of the world.
फिर मंदिर में जाकर के बंद हो गए।
Yet he is shut away in a temple and portrayed as ugly.
तो बंद हो गए, बंद क्यों हो गए? भिखारी बने,
They became vicious
दिखाते हैं।
and therefore he is shown as a dark complexed.
मंदिर पर तुम बहुत समझा सकते
You can explain a great deal at the temple to Jagannath, No one can explain the meaning of this. From being worthy of worship, it is the deities who become worshippers. In every instance, those people say that God is worthy of worship and also worshipper, that He gives happiness as well as sorrow. The Father says, I do not cause sorrow for anyone. Why do you tell me that I give you happiness and sorrow as well? The one who gives you happiness, how can you give you sorrow? When a child is born, there is happiness, but when the child dies, they cry. They say that God gave them sorrow. Oh, but you received temporary happiness and sorrow in the kingdom of Ravan. There is no question of sorrow in my kingdom. The golden age is called a land of immortality. This is called a land of death, where they have untimely death. There they celebrate in great happiness, and their lifespans are so long. The longest lifespan is 150 years. Here too some people live that long. However, this is not heaven. Some look after their bodies very well and their lifespans become longer. There are some who also have many children. Their family continues to grow and expand very quickly, just as branches and twigs emerge on a tree. There might be 50 branches and then 50 more will emerge from them. Populations will multiply. A great deal of growth takes place. The same thing happens here. This is why the tree is compared to a banyan tree. The foundation is strong, and there are branches and sub-branches. Everything is double. Although the whole tree is still standing, its foundation does not exist. Here too the foundation of the original eternal deity religion no longer exists. No one knows when the deities existed. They speak of hundreds of thousands of years. Previously you too never thought about this. The Father comes and explains everything to you. Baba gives you so much of happiness. Baba gives you self-esteem. You have now come to know the Father. You also have come to know the beginning, middle and the end of the whole drama, and you also have come to know its duration. You know everything. And what else you know? You also know how the new world becomes old and how the old world becomes new. No one else knows. Your children are now sitting on the pilgrimage of remembrance. The world becomes new. We become new. This pilgrimage of yours should continue regularly. By all means, go on tour but stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Here you have constant pilgrimage of remembrance. You understand that you also used to go on those pilgrimages on the path of devotion. Baba has explained that to worship one Shiva is to have unadulterated devotion. not that which makes you stumble. Then there is the worship of the deities. They worship the picture of the deities. And thirdly, there is the worship of the 5 elements. They worship the earth. They worship the non-living. They worship the 5 elements. The worship of the deities is still better because their bodies are still satopradhan, whereas the bodies of human beings are impure. Baba gives an example. The great souls sit near the shore of the Ganges river and they say, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. They worship the 5 elements. Those are pure, but then from the Copper Age onwards, everyone becomes impure. They continue to fall. The picture of the ladder is very good to use for you to explain. The second example, we have come down the ladder. Now step by step, we are lifting ourselves. There is the rise and fall. And the second example is, there is the story about a jinn. While sitting here, go up to the Supreme Abode and come down to this world. And again go to the Supreme Abode and come to the land of happiness. All of those examples refer to this time. You have to keep your mind busy. Otherwise, there will be negative thoughts, wasteful thoughts. We will keep thinking about others. And therefore, this is the tactics to remember the Supreme Abode, the Father, and then come back to the land of happiness. The example of the buzzing moth also refers to you. It is not only that you have to remember the Father, but you should also know the other example. You have to become like buzzing moth and make others similar to yourselves. Make others yourself. You change the insects and make them similar to yourselves, Brahmins. All of those examples refer to this place. Previously, your children used to go on physical pilgrimages. You are now once again studying this spiritual pilgrimage with the Father. This is a study. Just look what people do on the path of devotion. They continue to bow their heads in front of everyone, and yet they don't know the occupation of any one of them. You can calculate who takes the most births and how the number of births decreases. It is now that you receive this knowledge. Not everybody will take 84 births. Those who belong to the deity clan will only take 84 births. The people of Bharat have such stone intellects that when you ask them when heaven existed, they say it was hundreds of thousands of years ago. You children know that you were the masters of the world. You were very happy, and you now have to change from beggars into princes. the world becomes old from new.
बाप कहते हैं मेहनत,
Therefore, the Father says,
ये भी जानते हैं
make effort. He also knows that Maya makes you forget again and again.
सब जानते हैं बुद्धि में
The Father explains, constantly keep it in your intellects. What do you have to constantly remember?
हमारा इस पुरानी दुनिया से लंकर उठ चुका
You have to constantly remember from your intellects that you are returning home. Your boat is about to go across.
आज की किनारे पर
Your anchor has been raised from this old world.
टूटिया उठ चुका है, हमारा इस पुरानी दुनिया से लंकर उठ चुका है।
Your anchor has been raised from this old world.
कोई संपत्ति से, कोई संपत्ति से, कोई करने की साथ से
You don't have anything.
नैया उस पार जानी,
Your boat is about to go across.
ये न नैया हमारी पार ले जाओ,
People sing,
अब जाएगी
take our boat across, but they don't know when it's going to go across.
टूटेगी तब जाएगी,
Your anchor has been raised,
वो जानते नहीं
and when it will be raised from this old world, your boat is about to go across.
और क्या याद होना चाहिए,
Along with the Father,
याद के साथ
what else you have to remember? You also have to remember your inheritance.
या तो बाप का
When children grow older, they keep their father's inheritance in their intellects.
आत्मा जड़ जाती,
You are now grown up.
ये बात तो बराबर है।
Your souls understand straight away that this is accurate. The unlimited Father's inheritance is heaven.
बाबा स्वर्ग स्थापन करते हैं,
Baba establishes heaven,
जो श्रीमत पर चलते हैं,
and so you have to follow the Father's Srimad.
करना पड़ेगा। बाप कहते हैं पवित्र जरूर बनना है,
The Father says, you definitely do have to become pure. It is because of purity that fighting and quarreling take place.
गौरव नरक में पड़े हुए हैं,
It is as though people are absolutely in the depths of hell and are falling even further into vice.
बाप से प्रेम को
This is why they are not able to have love for the Father.
बुद्धि बाबा से प्रीत नहीं रख सकती, विपरीत बुद्धि विनाशकारी
They are the ones whose intellects have no love for God at the time of destruction. The Father comes to make you into those with loving intellects. There are many who don't have the slightest love in their intellects.
कभी बाप को याद ही नहीं,
They don't even remember the Father.
बाबा को जानते ही नहीं,
They don't know Shiv Baba at all.
नहीं
They don't even believe in him.
हैं, माया का पूरा ग्रहण लग,
They are totally eclipsed by Maya.
याद की यात्रा बिल्कुल ही नहीं,
They have no pilgrimage of remembrance.
मेहनत तो कराते हैं,
The Father inspires you to make effort.
सूर्यवंशी चंद्रवंशी राजधानी स्थापन हो रही,
You also know that the Sun and the Moon dynasty kingdoms are now being established here.
सतयुग त्रेता में कोई भी धर्म स्थापन होते नहीं,
There are no religions established in the golden or silver age.
ये स्थापना
Rama does not establish a religion.
बाप द्वारा ही,
He becomes that through the establishment that the Father carries out.
और धर्म स्थापक और बाप की धर्म स्थापन में रात दिन का फर्क है।
There is the difference of day and night in the way that other founders of religions establish their religions and how the Father establishes this religion. The Father explains the contrast.
धर्म और बाप के और धर्म स्थापन और बाप के धर्म स्थापना में रात दिन का फर्क है। बाप आते ही हैं संगम पर,
The Father comes at the confluence age when the world has to be transformed.
कलम कलम
The Father says,
संगम हो गया,
I come at the confluence of every cycle.
द्वापर कलयुग, इन दो युग
golden age, silver age, copper age, iron age. Baba comes in between the golden age and the silver age? No.
ये कलयुग सतयुग ये भी दो युग है, तो युग के युग है।
Baba says, I come at the confluence of every cycle. However, they have wrongly returned the words that I come in every age. The path of devotion has to last for half a cycle. Therefore, the Father says, children, don't forget these things. Children say, Baba, we forget you. Then what does Baba say? Baba says with a lot of love. Oh, but even animals do not forget their father. So, why do you forget? Baba says even animals do not forget their father. So, why do you forget? What is the reason that you forget the Father? You do not consider yourselves to be souls. By becoming body conscious, you forget the Father. Just as the Father now explains to you, so your children also have to form the habit of explaining in the same way. You have to explain to everyone with a lot of love and intoxication and with confidence. You shouldn't lose courage in front of important people. You Kumaris are the ones who go and explain to great scholars and pandits, and so you must remain fearless when explaining to them. Baba once had told us that we have to ride a lion. That means we have to explain to the great scholars and pandits. So you shouldn't have doubt on what God is teaching you. I was in Jaipur and I had done a lot of service at that time. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to you spiritual children. Essence for Dharana. Constantly keep it in your intellect that you are now returning home. The anchor of your boat has been raised from this old world. You are on a spiritual pilgrimage. Practice this pilgrimage and inspire others to do the same. Second point. Remain fearless and don't lose courage when you speak in front of important people. You have to be fearless, confident. Instill the habit of becoming soul conscious whilst explaining to others. You should have a Shakti form while explaining to anyone. Blessing. May you be a great soul who becomes innocent of Maya and anything wasteful and thereby experiences divinity. Explanation. A great soul or a saint. A saint would be someone who is innocent of Maya and I have
इससे
anything wasteful.
ऐसे अपने वो संस्कार इमर्ज करो,
Just as the deities were innocent of those things, in the same way, let the sanskars of yours emerge.
तो अपने संस्कार इमर्ज करो
Emerge those sanskars,
या स्वरूप करो,
become an embodiment of one who is ignorant of all waste,
अजोश
because the force of something wasteful
सत्यता का
often finishes
और
all consciousness of truth and righteousness.
इसीलिए सरकार ने उन्हें गुस्सा आएगा, रियलिटी को नहीं समझेगी, परिस्थिति को नहीं समझेगी।
When we don't understand reality or the situation, we become body conscious. Therefore, be innocent in everything instead of being wasted. Time, breath, words, and actions. When you are ignorant of all waste, you will then automatically experience a divinity and give others that experience.
फर्स्ट डिवीजन में आना है
Slogan.
तो ब्रह्मा बाप के कदम पर
In order to go into the first division,
फर्स्ट डिवीजन में आना है,
place your steps in Father Brahma's footsteps. In order to go into the first division, place your steps in Father Brahma's footsteps.
जैसे होली पर आपस में गले मिलते हैं, ऐसे यहाँ संस्कार में लगी गले
As holy people hug one another, in the same way, the harmonizing of sanskars is the auspicious meeting have.
संस्कारों को जान करके
Know the sanskars of one another, and with love for one another,
से मिलजुल कर
stay in harmony.
जैसे कोई से विशेष स्नेह होता है
When you have special love for someone,
तो उनसे मिक्स हो जाता है,
you get on very well with that person. When there is natural harmony, you get on along with everyone. In the same way,
दो चीज़ें चाहिए,
you need two things.
जितना ही नॉलेजफुल
In order to mix with one another,
सरल स्वभाव
become just as easy natured as you are knowledgeful. In order to mix with one another, become just as easy natured as you are knowledgeful. Only then we can get along with one another.
बाबा ने मेरे को जयपुर भेजा था,
I will speak about the riding on the lion. Baba had sent me to Jaipur. There were wonderful services which take place in Jaipur. The service was in museum. The people of Delhi wrote the letter, Baba, we have been doing service from 3 years. Then Baba wrote the letter to me. Baba wrote the letter to me. You was riding the lion in Delhi. Now you have to sit on the elephant in Jaipur.
शेर तैयार करो
Baba said,
तो भेजो पैसे,
you have to become a lion and not an elephant.
बाकी बन जाते हैं।
It was all Baba's words.
उस समय साधन तो कुछ नहीं थे,
There were no facilities in Delhi.
ये सर्विस करनी होती थी, मंदिर जाओ, जब शादी
We used to go to the temples to do service.
शहरों में जाओ आसपास
We used to have different festivals and we used to do service.
तैयार मतलब देखने का सिर्फ
So I have to be ready to go to one place and to the other place to do service.
था, हमको नहीं
So in Jaipur I had a museum there and we had to do service there. And the service was of different quality. We used to give a special invitation to the VIPs. And Baba used to write as how you have to explain to the kings there. When you go and take them in front of the picture of ladder. You have to tell them where they are now and where they have reached. And Baba used to write to me in the letter as how I have to explain. People of Delhi opened the museum. It is in Pandav Bhavan now, and before that it was in Gurudwar. And there was the opening of the museum from R.J. Desai. It was for temporary period. He had become the Prime Minister. And after that there was a Kumbh Mela. There were many big scholars and pandits, and I got the chance to do service there. And then I came to Madhuban in the month of November. At that time, Baba gave beautiful stories, and there were training centers made, and it was all the training centers for the Kumaris. And the experience I had was, I had the experience of the Avyakta form. Baba called me to his room. Baba said, a telegram has come from Delhi. And Baba says that you have to fulfill your promise. And in order to ride the lion, have to come to Delhi. So Baba said, don't go to Jaipur. You have to come to Delhi. In 1968, I came to Delhi. Baba made me to have a very beautiful experience and a wonderful experience, and that I will share the next day. Shantivan Nivasis, brothers and sisters, had written a chit to want for something, and they will have to attain it. The collective meditation and the Amritvela Yoga will be in the conference hall. From tomorrow, the Murli class will be in the Diamond Hall. Rajyogini Bikesh, Sister Sharda, you were from Andhra Pradesh, Kolampur, Center in charge, Center Subzone. From 22 years you were surrendered and did service. Yesterday in the morning you left your mortal coil. So we will have remembrance for that departed soul. Om Shanti. Mind is the power of thoughts. Thought is considered to be a power of pure thought. If I sit in one place and create good feelings towards someone, we create a good thought towards them, a thought full of affection, a thought with the remembrance of the Father, then it is definitely fulfilled. It reaches them. We keep hearing many such examples. Many will have such experiences themselves. And Baba says, sit at one place and give your rays of Sakash. See how many devotees will remember you. Why? Because now emojis are increasing, calamities are increasing, sudden calamities are happening that are slowly moving us directly, that in the future this world will definitely has to change. Om Shanti.